Welcome. Okay, so for those of you joining us online, we need lots of props. So things that make you comfortable to lay down and be supported. So the biggest thing about Yoga Nidra is being able to fully relax. So we don't want to have I think about the position like I'm in perfect yoga nidra position, but if I can't lay there for 25 minutes to 45 minutes really comfortably and not being distracted, then that's not the right position. So I always tell people, don't worry so much about what you look like, right? Worry more that you're comfortable. So I do have some people who lie on their side. They're more comfortable. Some people are more comfortable actually sitting up, which is okay. You don't have to lay down to practice yoga nidra. So props, I like for my position, and this may not be your position, I like a little blanket over my head. And depending on the temperature of the room I'm in, I might have a blanket over me, but I like my knees and the backs of my thighs supported because I have a pretty big sway in my back. And then I like to tuck my head in. And I can lay like this pretty comfortably as long as my hips and back aren't tight. So sometimes our position is different depending on the day. So as you gather your props at home, you guys already have your props here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why you're here is to support the Abundant Yoga community. And I love it. My audience knows all about the Abundant Yoga community. I think we have a couple of board members that are joining us online too. But just so you know, right? The Abundant Yoga community helps bring yoga to people who might not otherwise have access to yoga. So we do personal scholarships. So if you know somebody that says, oh, I wish I could do yoga, but I just can't afford it. If they go to the website, abundantYogaCommunity.org, you can sign up for a scholarship at any yoga studio that you're interested in. So it's not just where we are now, Inspiring Actions. It's also, what's the name? True Nature Yoga in Baldwin. Yes, is one of our partnering studios, as is Healing Roots in River Falls here. And we've got a couple more things that are in the works. But if there's a studio that you want to take classes at, we are happy to reach out to them and see if they want to be a partnering studio. So our whole approach is to just be sure everybody gets to do yoga who wants to do yoga. And we also do grants for teachers. So if you're a yoga teacher and you want to teach a class or a workshop to an underserved community, we help yoga teachers do that. So there's also on the website a place where you can apply for grants. And then we have free yoga classes I think we have one every single weekend now at all of our different partnering studios. So that information is also online. And we have other projects too that kind of come and go. So please feel free to go to abundantYogaCommunity.org to check out what we're doing. And this is a fundraiser series. So if you're not signed up for the whole series, next weekend we have another class, a gentle yoga class. And then I'm trying to think of what Angela is teaching. I think she's teaching a restorative class the next Sunday. So all right, so that's the Abundant Yoga community. And then Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is one of my favorite things to teach because I'm also a therapist. And so one of the things that I love about Yoga Nidra is it kind of does both. It does the yoga piece and it does the therapy piece. It helps us to really relax and restore our mind as well as our body. So when it's practiced regularly, I mean, you'll get benefits if you just practice it one time of just relaxation. But if you practice it ongoing with some consistency, what it's said to do is to help us remove the samskaras. So all of the things that have happened to us in our life that we've created reactive patterns to, if we practice this Yoga Nidra, we're able to loosen those associations with our past traumas or our past things that have happened to us that cause us to react. So one of the ways that the practice does that, and we'll get there about midway, is I'll ask you to experience opposites. So it might be something like hot and cold, pleasure and pain. And when we're able to hold those spaces and those feelings in a relaxed state, it helps build our awareness and tolerance. So yeah, it's a very cool practice. And I mean, double bonus, you don't have to do anything, right? It's like I'm storytelling up here and you're just kind of following along. So one of the things that often happens, especially if you don't practice some form of relaxation ongoing, is that you might fall in and out of conscious awareness. So you might have this moment where you go, oh wait, what is she saying? Or you might, sometimes people have that little snore because they're so relaxed. And I always say, if you hear your neighbor snoring, just feel so happy for them that they're finally relaxed, right? And if they're sawing logs, I'll make a little trek over to you and just give you a nice little tap to let you know you're sawing logs. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're just like, oh, okay, I was out for a while. And the yogis would say, even if you fall asleep or you lose conscious awareness during the practice, there's still a part of you that's listening. So, I mean, again, double bonus, right? What? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to really pay attention and I can still get the benefits of the practice. Yes, you can. So that's the practice of Yoga Nidra. Some of you may have practiced before and you know that there's this intention that we set at the beginning and then at the end we come back to it. It's called a sankalpa. And basically what it, in short, I mean, we could do days and days of study of this, but this is an intention that's formed in the heart. So something that is really aligned with who you truly are. So if you've been practicing yoga for a while, you know, we talk about the true self, right? So this is the part that kind of hasn't been affected by all the things that are going on in life. So if I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety, I might have a sankalpa that is something like, I am calm, or peace breathes through me, because I know at my core, right, that I'm meant to be a peaceful being. And anxiety is because of the life I might be living. Make sense? So I'll invite you to create a sankalpa at the beginning of the practice. And if you're not familiar with it, just make it simple. You know, something that you might be working on, something, an intention that you're trying to, you know, just connect with. Okay. So that's Yoga Nidra. That's Abundant Yoga Community. So let's actually start standing. Just going to stretch the body a little bit to be sure that we are not too stiff to start our practice. Okay, so just bring your feet, and you don't have to, just a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and let your arms just hang by the sides. And then just start to move from one side to the other. Let the heel come up. So you're doing just a gentle twist of the spine and into the hips a little bit. So we want this to be really gentle to start. And you'll notice, like I'm noticing, oh, my hips are a little tight. So I might slow it down or pause, kind of feel into the stretch a little bit. And it might feel like for your body, you might want to go a little bit faster, right? You might, I know there's can't remember what tradition, but where you pound your kidneys, I think it's called, right? Qigong? Okay. Yeah. So this is just to get the blood flowing a little bit. There we go. And then let's bring that into just stillness. Let the arms just hang by the sides. And you might notice a little tingling in the hands and maybe just a little bit of heat around the belly. So then let's heel toe our way towards the center of the mat, looking down at your feet. Be sure that your feet are just even, so the toes kind of line up there. And then lift the heels up, come up onto the toes, and feel the arch stretch a little bit, and then slowly bring the heels back down. And then we'll add in the arms and some breath. So we'll inhale, lift the heels and the hands up, and then slowly come back down on an exhale. A little bit of coordination reigns in the mind. So we'll inhale. and we'll exhale. And we'll do this about 2 or 3 more times. So just letting your body and breath move in a way that just feels like you're getting a nice stretch, centering in on your breath, having to engage a little coordination. And then let's do one more. And then let's bring our hands to our hips. Let your right hand just dangle down by your side. And like you're gonna grab onto your knee, just let your fingertips move down the side of your leg towards your knee, and then notice this opening on the left side of the body. Take a deep inhale in into the rib cage here. Then you might be able to feel those little muscles in the ribs starting to open. And then let's slide the hand back up. Bring the hand to the hip, same thing, other side. Fingertips slide down, bow now the right side of the body, and then breathe into the rib cage. See if you can feel into the rib cage there. And then let's come back to center. Okay, now step your right foot back. Left foot will be forward. And this is just a short stance, so the hips are still pointing towards the front. And if you bend your front knee, that the back foot can stay really glued into the ground. You might feel it in your calf muscles. Then send your tailbone down so you feel a stretch here in the front of the right hip. And then reach the hands up as high as they go. And you'll notice how that stretch up the right side of the body increases a little bit. Now lift the chin and look up and press your heel into the floor, and then breathe deeply into the front side of the body. And then let's bring the hands back down, straighten the front leg, and then step your back foot forward. And just for a moment, compare the left and the right leg. And there's probably a difference in that feeling. All right, then let's step the other foot back. So same thing, hips are moving forward. When you bend the front knee, the back foot can stay really rooted into the ground. Tailbone goes down so you can feel the stretch in the front of the left thigh and pelvis. And then hands go up just as high as they go. And take a couple of deep breaths here, pressing into the back foot, breathing into the front side of the body. And then on your next exhale, we'll bring the hands down, straighten the front leg, step the back foot forward. Maybe things feel a little bit more even now. Okay, with the feet hip distance apart, kind of moving around the hips here, we're gonna bend the knees, and then the hands are gonna come to the thighs, and then slide your hands down your thighs and down the legs so that you're kind of hanging in a chair pose. And notice what's going on in the low back. We've got a little bit of strengthening going on in the backs of the legs. Then slide your hands back up your legs and come back to stand. And we'll do that a couple of times. So we're gonna bend the knees deeply, exhale, forward fold, slide all the way down, let the head hang. So the weight of the head gives us a nice stretch of the neck. And on your next inhale, slide back up. Let the shoulders relax. Next exhale, bend the knees deeply, slide down. And then slide back up. And then let the hands just rest by the sides, shoulders drop away from the ears. Okay. So we're gonna bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And we're gonna do this version of, it's an Uddiyana Bandha. It's just working with the lock around the navel. If you know Agnisara, this is a similar practice, but all of not all of them, A lot of the nerves related to the relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system, are around the area of the gut, we call it, right? So by just doing a little bit of holding and pumping and working the muscles around the navel, help us to engage that relaxation system. So we're going to bend the knees and the hands are going to come to the thighs. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see. Then I'm going to come into almost like a cow pose. And then on your exhale, tuck your chin and tuck your tailbone under and exhale really strongly and let the navel come in towards the spine. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then inhale and reverse that movement. Shoulder blades come together, chin lifts, tailbone lifts. And then a strong exhale out as you round the back, navel moves to the spine. Hold the breath out. And do that a few more times. So we'll inhale, let the belly be soft. And then exhale, really use the belly muscles. And if you know how to work the pelvic floor muscles, raise those up towards the belly button, hold the breath out. And then just with your own breath and your own exploration of that movement, go ahead and do that a couple of more times. And you're welcome to hold the breath out as long as it feels comfortable for you. It can be just a pause. It can be a longer count. We'll do about one more here. And then after you do that last one, just slowly come back up to stand and pay attention. You might notice that the eyes want to melt shut a little bit, that there's a little bit of, I call it the washing out. There's just a, oh, okay. So then from here, we're going to come down onto hands and knees. So we're going to bring the hands to the sides of the legs. Inhale, and then exhale, slide the hands down. Find your way onto your hands and your knees. We're going to do a move called Chakravakasana. We're really going to try to pair this with the breath. So you're going to inhale, and you're welcome to lift the chin and lift the tail, or just keep the back flat. Exhale and come back into child's pose, bending the elbows and the head comes down to the floor. Inhale, come back up. And exhale back to child's pose. I know some people really like to put a cat and cow in there, and that is just fine. So just keep moving with your breath. The inhale is when you come up, and the exhale is when you go back. Now you'll notice when you go back, if you bend the elbows first, you get this little stretch between the shoulder blades. Be sure to let the head hang or rest. And one more. And then once you're back into child's pose, adjust the knees or the feet, just depending on what feels best in your hips and your back. And we'll slide the hands over to the right hand side of the mat, resting the head either on a blanket, a bolster, or the mat. And then breathe into the area around your armpit. So you notice by just orienting to that, you're getting a full breath up and around the left shoulder rib area. And the left side of the rib cage is expanding and contracting. And then very slowly and mindfully just move back through center, a little bit of a pause, noticing the difference between the left and the right. And then slide your way over to the other side of the mat, the right side of the mat. Or left side, excuse me, right side of the body. And same thing, breathe up into the right shoulder, right armpit, and see if you can sense that right side of the rib cage just expanding and contracting as we get into those little muscles that are in the ribs. All right, then let's come back to center. And then whichever way is most comfortable for you, come onto your back. So you might come up and just roll over. We're just going to get into the hips just a little bit more before we settle in. So once you're on your back, just let the arms rest by the side, the feet on the floor. And on an inhale, just gently lift the hips up into the air. And on your exhale, slowly bring the hips back down. Next inhale, hips lift, and you're welcome to reach the arms up and over the head if that feels okay in your shoulders. And exhale, hands and hips come back down. And see if you can time the hands coming down at the same time the hips come down. So do that about 3 more times. The inhale, you lift, arms being optional. And the exhale, you return. One more. And then just pause. All right, let's bring our knees in towards the chest. And just a little bit of rocking back and forth. I know for some people it feels really good to bring your knees up, or your head up towards your knees. I'm not always a fan of that. It doesn't work so well on my neck, but if that works well for you, go ahead and do that. And then straighten the legs. Hold on to the backs of the thighs and just point your toes towards the ceiling. And then flex your toes towards your face, like you're going to push your heels up towards the ceiling. So point the toes and then flex the toes. Heels move towards the ceiling. Do that one more time. And then we're going to rotate the ankles in one direction. And then rotate the ankles in the other direction. I always wonder, am I doing the other direction? All right. And then press your heels up towards the ceiling again. Bend your knees, bring your feet back down to the floor. Now bring your feet wide on your mat. Knees are still bent. Arms are just going to come out to the side. And on your next exhale, let your knees drop off to the right. And if we keep our feet wide, you'll notice we get more into the hips and the back and the thighs. On the inhale, you come back to center. And on the exhale, the knees drop to the opposite side. So just do that a few times with your breath. And the more we coordinate the movement with the breath, the more it reigns in the mind, kind of preparing for the relaxation. And if there's a spot that you feel like you want to pause, if you want to just stay for a while on one side, you could do that. And if you paused on one side, go ahead and shift that over to the other side and pause. And then let's everybody bring the knees back to center. And just take a moment as you lie here, check in with your body. And is there some kind of a stretch or a movement that you would like to do before you lay still? So just check in about, if the answer is no, that's perfectly fine. But sometimes people have like their favorite thing that they do before they really rest. So if you've got one of those moves, or you always like to end your class before Shavasana and a happy baby or something like that, go ahead, feel free to do that. And then as you're ready, bring yourself into that comfortable Nidra position. So for those of you watching online, something under the head to support you. I always like something under the knees. But most important thing is you're comfortable. I always say we're not modeling for any, yoga journal or anything, right? Let's just be sure we're comfortable. Yeah. So today I'm going to share with you one of my more favorite Yoga Nidra practices. This is from one of my teachers, Amy Weintraub. And this practice goes through the koshas, or the sheaths that cover our true self. So you'll kind of hear in the language this idea of returning home to that place that is really connected with source, and whatever source you believe in. So take a few moments to just be sure that you've got everything that you need. Double check if you have a ponytail holder in, that it's not digging into the back of your head. If you have glasses, that you've taken the glasses off. And double check that the weight of your body as it's sinking into the support below you, that there aren't any wrinkles in the clothing or any little things, right, that might irritate you. We always say just take a moment to be 5 to 10% more comfortable. So during the practice of Yoga Nidra, the body may subside for moments into sleep or into a spacious awareness without thought. Allow my voice to be an anchor, drawing you back into awareness of the present. Let my words become your words. And there's actually no way to do this practice wrong. Just simply set an intention to remain alert and awake, and then let whatever arises be exactly right. Begin to join with your own natural rhythm of breath. Just however you notice your breath. It might be that 3-part breathing that you've learned in yoga. But simply just breathe down to the bottom of the lungs so that the belly expands. Ride the waves of your breath home to who you are inside, beneath the current mood or the masks or costumes that you wear. Come home to the ground of your being, where you are intimately and eternally connected to that part of you that knows there is no separation. And from this place of wholeness, invite a heartfelt prayer to arise, revealing itself in your heart's mind. This is your intention or your sankalpa. The seeds are already present in your life. And when you've identified the seed of longing, plant it in your heart and say it to yourself in the present tense, although it's already blossoming. For example, peace breathes through me now, or radiant health breathes through me now. Or maybe even, I am open and available to give and receive love. This is your deepest intention or your sankalpa. As a sankalpa is being identified, take 2 more slow, deep breaths, breathing your sankalpa through every cell. The beginning and end of the Yoga Nidra practice are the most fertile times for nourishing the seed of your sankalpa. If you plant the sankalpa every day during your Yoga Nidra practice, that seed will blossom more fully into your life. Imagine now a place where you can be totally relaxed and at ease. Find a soothing image, maybe from nature, maybe in a warm room, or in the arms of a beloved. This is your inner sanctuary, a place you can return to at any time throughout your day or throughout your practice of Yoga Nidra. It can remain on the altar of your heart so that you can draw upon the soothing image anytime you want a moment of respite in your daily life. Take one more breath of the image of your inner sanctuary in your heart. Now we move into the Annamaya Kosha and the awareness of sensation with glimmers of pure awareness of the Anandamaya Kosha. The whole body is lying on the floor. Become aware of the whole body lying on the floor. A global awareness of sensation radiating through and around the whole body lying on the floor. Sense each body part as we move systematically, almost mechanically, through the body. Beginning with the mouth. Sense deeply into the mouth. Notice sensation at the roof of the mouth, the floor of the mouth. Notice the tongue. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Inner left cheek, inner right cheek. Sense the lips. Sensation behind the lips. Whole mouth, hollow and empty. Feel the hollow spaciousness of the mouth as radiant, expansive sensation. All the structures of the mouth, hollow and empty. Trace a line of sensation flowing from inside the mouth through the hollow tubes of the inner ear canals, all the way out to the hills and valleys of the outer ears. Left ear, right ear, hollow and empty. Sense the nose, experiencing the hollow spaciousness inside each nostril. Left nostril, right nostril, hollow and empty. Sense the eyes, those orbs of radiant sensation. Sensation in the eyes, flowing all the way back into the structures around the eyes. cheekbones, left and right, temples, left and right, eyebrows, left and right, bridge of the nose, sensation between the eyelids, upper, lower, sensation between the eyelashes, left eye, right eye, still behind their lids. Sense the cranium, the whole cranium. Trace a line from the middle of the brow point over the forehead to the crown and all the way back to the back of the head. Notice the neck and the hollow space behind the neck. Sense into the throat, hollow and empty. Sense the hollow notch at the base of the throat. Breathe into the left side of the body. The whole left side of the body lying on the floor. Follow the sensation in the left shoulder all the way down the arm to the empty spaciousness at the palm of the hand and all the little bones in the fingers. Left thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. All the fingers together. Left wrist, elbow, and the hollow space of the armpit. Whole left arm lying on the floor. Feel the whole left arm lying on the floor. The hollow notch at the base of the throat. Notice the left rib cage, torso, hip, thigh, kneecap, the hollow space behind the kneecap, shin, ankle, all the way down to the hollow space at the sole of the foot and all the little bones in the toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. All of the toes together. Sensation flowing through the whole left side of the body. Whole left side of the body, radiant, spacious, hollow, and empty. Feel the whole left side of the body lying on the floor. Sense into the energy field, radiant and shimmering, around the left side of the body, lying on the floor. Sense the hollow notch at the base of the throat. Inhale through the sole of the left foot all the way up to the right hemisphere of the brain. Exhale down through the right side. Prana flowing. A circle of breath. Breathing up through the left side and down through the right. Do this 2 more times on your own. Now breathe your way over to the right side of your body. Sense the right side of the body lying on the floor. Waves of breath lapping against the right shore of the body. Whole right side of the body lying on the floor. Sensation in the right shoulder, all the way down the arm to the hollow spaciousness at the palm, and all the little bones in the fingers. Right thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, all of the fingers together. Back of the hand, right wrist, elbow, in the hollow space of the armpit. Whole right arm on the floor. Feel the whole right arm radiant with sensation. The hollow notch at the base of the throat. Notice sensation in the right rib cage, torso, hip, thigh, kneecap, and the hollow space behind the knee, shin, ankle, all the way down to the hollow space at the sole of the foot and all the little bones in the toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all the toes together. Sensation flowing through the whole right side of the body. Whole right side of the body, radiant, spacious, hollow, and empty. Feel the whole right side of the body lying on the floor. The energy field radiant, shimmering around the right side of the body, lying on the floor. The hollow notch at the base of the throat. Breathe into both sides of the body simultaneously. Become aware of both sides of the body. Awareness of the whole body lying on the floor. Whole body is lying on the floor. Become aware of the back of the body, heavy, sinking into the earth like a stone in sand. Legs heavy and sinking. Spine, back of the head, arms, heavy and sinking. From this earthbound density, a lightness begins to arise. Body light and floating. Front of the body light and shining. Breath flowing through the front of the body, face, chest, abdomen, pelvis, tops of the legs. Front of the body light and floating. Whole body light floating above the floor. Body light and floating like a cloud. Feel the heaviness in the body and the lightness in the body simultaneously. Body heavy and light. The hollow notch at the base of the throat. The whole body lying on the floor. The whole body lying on the floor and the energy field radiating around the body. Notice an area of discomfort in your body, perhaps an unpleasant tightness or numbness. Allow the breath to join the area of discomfort without trying to change anything. Aware of discomfort in the body. Is there an emotion associated with this discomfort? Notice if there's an emotion, perhaps unpleasant, associated with this area of discomfort in the body. No effort, no need to search for words, simply a felt sense of an emotion woven into the uncomfortable area in the body. Stay present and sense back into the discomfort in the body. Breathe into the area of discomfort. Is there an area of comfort in the body? Perhaps a pleasant sensation of tingling or wakefulness. Let the breath join with the comfort in the body without trying to change anything. Just simply notice comfort in the body. Is there an emotion associated with this area of comfort? No strain. A word may be there or not. Notice if there's a felt sense of emotion associated with comfort in the body. Stay present and aware of the area of comfort in the body. Breathe into the area of comfort. Now go back and forth between the area of discomfort in the body and the area of comfort in the body. Take 2 long breaths into the area of discomfort and feel the emotion if there is one. Breathe into the discomfort. And take 2 long breaths into the area of comfort and feel the emotion, if there is one, associated with the pleasant feelings of the body. Sensing back now into a greater timeless awareness, expanded and spacious, aware of both discomfort in the body and comfort in the body. Embracing both the discomfort and the unpleasant emotion, and also the comfort in the body and the pleasant emotion. Can you sense back into a spacious awareness where discomfort and comfort, pleasant and unpleasant, heaviness and lightness can live in the body and mind? Awareness expanding, formless and timeless. Awareness aware of itself. Awareness of the energy around the body. Bliss expanding and spacious, like a great cosmic smile. Invite the smile to enter your heart. Maybe a memory comes, a moment of happiness. Inhale and breathe the moment around your heart. Heart smiling, your eyes smiling, your cheeks smiling. Memory dissolves, whole body smiling. Blissful smile extending beyond the limits of your physical body lying on the floor. Bliss expanding beyond the limits of this room. Bliss spacious and expanding beyond the limits of this country. Bliss spacious, radiant, expanding beyond the limits of this planet. Bliss shimmering eternally and intimately. No separation between the ocean of healing energy that surrounds us and the rivers of healing energy flowing through you now. From this expanded place of spacious awareness, everything you need is flowing through you now. Whole, here, now. No separation. Begin to notice your body lying on the floor. Notice the sounds in the room. And begin to deepen your breath, breathing into your wholeness. And recollect your sankalpa, your intention that you made at the beginning of the practice. And breathe your sankalpa through you now. It's already present. Nourish the seed with your breath and your attention. As you breathe your heartfelt intention through you, completing your Yoga Nidra practice, you are fertilizing the seed of your intention that will manifest fully, blossoming in every facet of your life. As you end your Yoga Nidra practice and return to your daily life, resolve to stop throughout your day. Pause for a moment in the middle of your activity or conversation or at a mealtime. Simply pause and sense back into this greater awareness that you are. Nothing separate, nothing separate, whole. And again, begin to deepen the breath. Begin to bring some movement back into the body. Perhaps wiggling fingers, toes. Just beginning to move in a way that feels most intuitive to you. And start to make those movements just a little bit bigger, moving and stretching, maybe bringing your arms above your head. You can think about how a cat or a dog comes out of a nap. And just move in that really nurturing way. And taking your time. You may roll off to one side, or maybe you just press yourself up, whatever way is most comfortable to come back to a seat. And we'll close our practice. Just give yourself a moment to become oriented, right? To being upright. And it might help to open the eyes and turn the head one way and another, kind of look around. This helps orient the nervous system to space and time. You might look down at your hands and move your hands and go, oh, yeah, here I am. Right? Sometimes when we come out of Yoga Nidra, it's a little weird. We need to just give ourselves a moment. So we're gonna link our thumbs. So our hands are like wings, and rest them on our chest, and just bow your chin towards your chest and remember your sankalpa. And just hold it in your heart. We'll take a moment to just bow in gratitude for this practice being brought down to us and all the teachers and sacrifices that were made to bring this practice to us and that came before us. And then just a little tap, left, right, left, right. It's one more opportunity to balance the nervous system. And then let's just bring that into stillness. Thank you so much for joining today in this practice of Yoga Nidra. Om Shanti, peace. Yes, please be sure to move slowly and take your time. Thank you for those of you that joined us online today.